Shri Chinmaya Satgurave Namaha. Over these past few mornings, we've been seeing the overview of the Gita in different languages. I have been tasked with the job of summarizing the Gita in modern pop culture WhatsApp acronym language. I will try and do my very best to stay true to this language. The Gita starts with Arjuna and Krishna, A and K, in the middle of the battlefield. And Arjuna is extremely stressed, and so he doesn't want to deal with whatever's going on right now and says, Krishna, got to go. And all of us too, whenever we're in slightly different challenging situations, we want to run away. In fact, just on a WhatsApp conversation, when we don't like the person or we don't like what they're saying, we say, got to go. And Arjuna was in a truly difficult situation where he's having to fight his entire family. And so it's very natural that he wants to leave. And he even gives reasons for wanting to leave. He says, war's a terrible thing, and we'd have to agree. People die, families are broken, society is disarrayed. And Krishna's patiently listening, and Krishna really is BFF because he was there for Arjuna and he was listening. And then finally, when Arjuna finished all his ranting, Krishna said, this is not the time to be emo, Arjuna. And really, why all this psychodrama? We need to get over it. Krishna's not being insensitive. We have to understand that whatever it is that we're fearing, we can't escape. We may leave the room, we may leave the country, but we can't escape it because it's in our mind and it comes with us. In the Hunger Games, when the first game ends, Cactus is faced with this opportunity where they change the rule all of a sudden, and now there's only one person who can win the game. And she thinks to herself that if I kill him, I will spend the rest of my life trying to figure out a way where I didn't have to. And that's the truth for all of us. Everything that we face in life, we spend our entire lives remembering that moment and either being proud of what we did, accepting what we did, or regretting what we did. And that haunts us. And then we become stuck. And that's exactly what Krishna didn't want for Arjuna. He didn't want Arjuna to be stuck. And so he said, get over it. And then Krishna really made his point so clear that finally Arjuna admitted the true problem and said, I don't know. I don't know what to do. This is all really, really confusing. It's all mixed up in my head. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know where I should go. I don't know what to start. And this is a wonderful place to be. When we understand, we don't know. Sometimes we say, I don't know, and I don't care. That's not such a wonderful place to be in. But I don't know, and then I want to figure it out is our launching pad for success and growth. And so this is the point where Arjuna surrenders. And Krishna is able to say, listen up, I'll tell you. And Krishna explains the 18 chapters of the Gita. There's a cute joke that I read on the internet where a mom messages her kid and says, what does IDK, LY, TTYL mean? So the answer is, I don't know, love you, talk to you later. And the mom messages in return, okay dear, don't worry, I'll ask your sister. But she was actually being given the knowledge of what those acronyms means. And so sometimes when we don't know, we don't even know that we don't know. And therefore the teacher or the guru in the spiritual field is so necessary to help us to see where the fault in our thinking lies. And so here Krishna starts exactly knowing what the fault is and says, Arjuna, come back here, be here now, be in this present moment. You're running away thinking about so many different things. Just like Luke in Star Wars, his eyes is always on the horizon. And Yoda said his biggest problem was his mind is never where he is. The Gita echoes the same message. And Gurudev has put it in a beautiful quote where he says, drop the regrets of the past, fancies of the future, anxiety in the present moment. Rest it at his feet. So we can say in our language, never mind what's happened in the past. No matter how bad it was, it doesn't matter, because past is dead and gone. Never mind what's going to happen in the future, because what will be, will be. And never mind how scared I am right now. I can put the fear aside. Rest it at the Lord's feet if I'm devotional, or just take a deep breath and be present and do what I need to do in this moment. Because when I bring my mind to where my hands are, I'll be able to do a lot better than if I'm stressing about 300 different things. And also, very important, never mind what everyone else is doing, who's doing better and who's doing worse. We tend to compare ourselves far too much. And if we're comparing ourselves so that we can learn from the other person and improve our skill, that's great. But we tend to compare and then go into a downward cycle of self-criticism and insecurities, making the whole scenario way worse than it is. And then, like Arjuna, we'll be lying on the floor on our knees saying, I can't. So bring our mind into the present moment and be able to raise to the opportunity, because each one of us definitely have so many talents, skills, and are able beings. So his first problem was focus, be present. And then Krishna continues to say what it is he has to do. There's a beautiful verse where Krishna explains, Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. It's better that we do what is our dharma, what is true to us. Fishes very instinctively know to swim, and birds very instinctively know to fly. And we too instinctively know what's our dharma, but there's again so much noise in our head that we don't tend to figure it out that easily. We have desires of what it is we want to do, likes and dislikes. We have so much peer pressure, and so we think we should be doing this, that, or the other. And so we get caught up in what should be or ought to be or could be, and then we don't realize what actually is. Our dharma or swadharma, our passion, is that which comes very naturally to us. And when we do it, we flourish, we shine, and we're able to give far more than when we're doing something that's not true to us. And so Krishna is telling Arjuna, just be yourself. Do what comes from your heart. And for Arjuna, that is to fight this war. For Arjuna, he's waited his whole life to fight this most epic battle. And so it's not even just what he wants to do, but be yourself also in terms of who we are. Again, with social pressures today, we busy ourselves in trying to look a certain way, trying to talk a certain way, and post 300 different things on Instagram, which aren't really us and we're not even really interested about. But there's this one person who's on Instagram who is crazy famous. He has 648,000 followers. And he's a middle-aged farmer in Vietnam, wearing just his vest, singing the numbers. Not a song, numbers. But he likes to sing. He doesn't know what to sing, so he sings the numbers. And he's become so popular that even our Fresh Prince, Will Smith, posted him to thank the ballot workers in the recent American elections. When we're just who we are, the world will like us, because we're genuine, we're real, we're authentic. And when we are ourselves, we'll find the job that is true to us. and we will love what we do and do what we love. Talking about love, Krishna would definitely say Arjuna was babe. And Arjuna would even more say Krishna was babe. They had such an amazingly beautiful relationship, filled with so much affection towards each other. And in the Gita, this connection that we create with the Lord becomes our strength. When we have a relationship, and it can be any relationship, Radha saw Krishna as a beloved, Uddhav saw Krishna as master, but most of us resonate with the friendship, because friendships are close. They don't have that formality in them. And so when we have that love, thinking about the person is easy. And so Arjuna chose Krishna over everything else. And most people don't know this, but that's what Bay means, before anything else. Today, of course, we call everyone Bay, but the actual terminology means before anyone or anything else. When given the choice between Krishna's army and Krishna, Arjuna actually chose Krishna before the army. Chose Krishna before anything else. And this is what Krishna is telling us to do. He says, Ananyas chintayanto mam, continuously think of me. When he says me, we understand that this higher truth is the sapidity in the water, it's the power in the powerful, it's the beauty in the beautiful. Thinking of the higher is not just the form, but the very essence of truth. Think about it before anything else. Before we eat, think about the Lord. Before we start a class, think about the Lord. Before we move into a house or drive our car, think about the Lord. And as we do, think about Him all through the day. Our day fills up with thoughts of the higher, purifying us and cleansing us to be more loving in general to everyone we meet. And so to continuously think of the Lord not only purifies us, but helps us to be more noble, helps us to be more profound, helps us to be more present. Because when we love someone, we want to do what pleases them, and we respect the things that they respect. Also, before anything else can apply to, we should understand what we're doing before we do it. And so in the Gita, Krishna is constantly explaining why we do things, with our pujas, with our actions, with our rituals. Why is it that we're doing it? When we understand, we will be true to the essence of that action, rather than do it as an empty ritual, which doesn't fulfill us and doesn't serve any purpose in the society either. Ananyas chintayanto mam means think of me continuously, all the time. When you think about it, what's the point of being in love with a vampire that's going to suck your blood and sing to him, I love you for 1,000 years? We much rather love the Lord that can actually give us eternity and infinity, and He's so much easier to please. There is a verse where Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prayachati. He's saying that offer me just a leaf, that works for me. Offer a fruit or a few drops of water, that works for me. We see here that the Lord is so incredibly adjusting and flexible, and most of all, accepting of us. All He really wants is our love. Nothing else matters to Him. And so much rather we love someone that can love us in that way and does love us than chase after so many things that leave us feeling empty and weak. The choices we make is what makes us. There's a scene where Dumbledore is advising Harry Potter, and he's confused that, why does he feel this connection to Voldemort. And Dumbledore said when the sorting hat was on your head, you could have gone into Slytherins. But why did you end up in Gryffindor? And Harry said, because I chose Gryffindor. And Dumbledore replies, it's not our abilities that shape us and create our lives. It's our choices that make who we are and then determines what we experience in our lives. And actually, Krishna saying it works for me that you offer just anything, he's infinitely compassionate, and it's actually us that should be saying it works for me that I can offer just whatever's available to me at any time of the day. Krishna's love and acceptance is so complete, not like the Cardassians who said, I'll be there for you 80% of the time. Rather, more like Iron Man's daughter who says, I love you 3,000. But Krishna is infinite, and therefore his love too is infinite. And in his infinite love, he gives us this knowledge, and he's very honest with us. I mean, Krishna doesn't say to be honest. He's just honest all the time. And so we'll see that when we lift our mind to think of the higher, we grow out of pettiness. Otherwise, it's going to be like TikTok, where you just see the same dance and the same song and the same video being done again and again and again. I mean, how many times are you going to watch tap, 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 and then end with a swipe? And life is pretty much like that. Day in, day out, day in, day out. The cycle repeats itself. In fact, Krishna says, Brahma Bhuvana Loka, that from Brahmaji downwards, the worlds are created and recreated and recreated, and all of creation works in this cycle. A lot like the TikTok dances where they go round and it just keeps going round. And how long for? Well, for as long as we have desires, it just keeps going. And how long will our desires keep going? It's endless. Desires don't end until we end them. And that's the point that Krishna really wants to make, that we have to end this cycle of nonsensical, this coming and going, this exhausting drama that we keep playing again and again. And so he says in this 9th chapter of the Gita, Matstani Sarva Bhutani, that all beings are in me. Well, that's pretty cool. All beings are in him, we are in him. But when we really think about it, that means only he's real. And so the only part of us that's real is the part of him that's in us. Everything else isn't. Everything else is just a superimposition on the substratum, which is real, which is him. And so then he continues to say, Nacha Matstani Bhutani, that all beings are not in him. So wait. At least when all beings were in him, we were an appearance. It appeared like we existed. It felt real even though it wasn't real. But then when he goes on to say na Chamatstani Bhutani, it means it wasn't real. And so, wait a minute. How is it not real? Well, if it's an appearance, it wasn't real. And at this point, Arjuna must have been scratching his head saying, well, Krishna, maybe you didn't notice there's a war going on, and if that arrow shoots me, I'm going to really die. Which is why Arjuna replies, well, the body will die, you won't. And that's why I had said, karma before jnana. You're not ready yet. We can meditate on that a little bit later. Right now, we do have to do our actions. And so, a quick summary. at this point. Arjuna said, got to go. Krishna said, no, get back here, get over it. Arjuna said, I don't know. Krishna said, listen up, bro, I'll tell you. Lift yourself by yourself. Don't rely on anybody else. You got to clean your mind, clear your doubts, find your passion and help each other out. You've got to know the Lord, love the Lord, free yourself, know yourself. Om Tat Sat. By this point, Arjuna's mind was blown, and he said, I got it, Krishna. I know exactly what it is I have to do. Nashta moha smriti labhva. My delusions are gone, and I will do as you say. Karishe vachanam tava. Now that Krishna and Arjuna have to go and fight the battle, and Arjuna knows what it is he has to do, they go off. Talk to you later. Thank you so much. We are left with Sanjaya giving his opinion. Sanjaya ends the Gita with saying, in my opinion, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, where there is Krishna, the divine spark, where there is Arjuna, a person capable and willing to do and follow Dharma, there will be victory, prosperity, and wealth. And in my opinion, thank you, Arjuna, for falling. For if you had not, we would not have got the Gita. Thank you, Krishna, for lifting him up and all of us with him. And thank you, Gurudev, for keeping this knowledge alive. Peace out.